was built to last. When the webs are weaving, I could change the past. With all I'm achieving, I will.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to the video. I hope all of you are having an amazing day and are reaching for your fullest potential. Now today I want to talk a little bit about some of those things that I wish I would have done differently, maybe when I was younger, or perhaps even just like a little bit more of that would have a bigger impact on what I'm trying to do nowadays. So hopefully it benefits you guys. So if y'all ready, let's get it. So let's get into it. So one of the first things that I would definitely do differently or potentially just do a little bit more of is investing more money. And the reason why I would do that is because when it comes to investing is something that you do with a long-term kind of vision. Not something that you would do like, oh, let me buy these few stocks over here today, and a couple of days from now I will sell them. Even though that's a strategy that you can have in your investment, right? That there's different investment strategies. But for me, I've always been somebody that's looking for ways to try and buy more time for myself. Meaning that I want to be able to do other things and not necessarily put in time and receive money for it. So investing is one of those things that if you have the right investment strategy for what you're trying to do and what you're trying to achieve, you can over the long term start receiving residual income for the different investment types that you can go into. So for sure, one of the things that I would do more of is invest more. And I know that it's difficult sometimes because you're like, oh my God, I barely have enough to be able to put gas on my car or pay for my rent, or I only have a little bit of money to buy me the sneakers that I want, or to buy some food and go out, whatever the case may be. But you got to be able to think long term and say, hey, when I get to this age, I want to be able to have this amount, or I want to be able to have at least this comfort level where I know that if I needed to do something, that I have that backup that I can tap into. And for me, I'm all in right now in investment because I want to make sure that in the next 10 to 15 years, I have enough money invested that I can get the residual income that I'm looking for so that I can have a better life 10, 15 years from now. So investing would be one of the things that I would definitely do more of if I was young.
Woke up, told myself to push and never stop. I've been stressed out, watching both these hands around the clock. With my eyes wide, trying to get the panorama shot. Whole world getting blurry to me, answers getting lost. So I watch.
Now, growing up, I was extremely focused on what I was trying to do. And for me, that was playing basketball. If I wasn't practicing, I was thinking about what was the next thing, what was the next move that I could improve. Or I was watching a video or something from Michael Jordan and Kobe and all those people back in the days. How can I potentially make this move? How can I get better in making this move so that I can get to the hole, or so that I can create space, so that I can make my shot? So all those things were things that I used to do because it was my focus. It was what I was trying to do. But one thing that I would do a lot more of, it would be reading. Because as I mentioned before in a different video, getting informed and getting knowledge about different things in general in life, it's extremely important, because when you have the information, then you're able to make better decisions in terms of what you're trying to do in the moment. So that would be like another thing that I would do a lot more of, is reading a lot more, attending conferences, buying courses of things that nowadays, when Napster came out, people would just rip and download back in the day. And you can still do that nowadays, but there's different ways of doing that. I would definitely invest in those things that I know I'm passionate about, that I want to do, and I would do a whole lot more. And I am doing a whole lot more right now, just because I know that that's something that's essential if I want to be able to get to the next level. So definitely improving on myself and my other skills, other than back in the days for me it was basketball. But for now, like, there's so many different things that I have to work on right now, and I'm consuming so much information, so much more data now that I know is going to help me over the next couple of years. So improving on myself is something that I would definitely do a lot more if I was younger. Now, this third one is one that is very challenging when you're young, only because it requires a lot of patience. And that is finding a way, and this is funny because I learned this from reading one of, I think it was Warren Buffett's book. It's like finding a way to make money work for you when you're sleeping. If you're not able to find a way to make money while you're sleeping, you're never going to be able to get to the next level. And that is what I've been trying to figure out over the last 10 years, is how can I make my money work for me harder than what I do work for my money, because I work hard. Trust me, I work hard. But how do I find a way to make the money that I'm working for, right, work harder for me, especially when I'm sleeping, especially when I'm not there, especially when I'm sick, especially when I'm not able to physically do the work? How can my money work for me harder than me potentially working for that money? So that is one of the most challenging things that a young person can like figure out. And that is one of the things that, again, the reason why I stress the fact that I would read a lot more is because of that. Because if you get the knowledge that you need, then you would eventually be able to make the decisions that are going to lead you to potentially, say, investing, like the first thing that I mentioned, which is one of the ways that you can potentially make money work harder for you, because that money that's being invested is working. Whether you're sleeping, whether you're working, whether you're at a party, whether you're doing something, that money is working for you. So that's one of the ways, and there's hundreds of other ways. But finding a way to make your money work for you is one of the things that I wish that I would have done or start earlier than what I've done over the last 5-10 years. So those are 3 things, right? Number 1, investing, making sure that you like invest early in life, because the longer you're in there investing and being disciplined about investing, the more residual income that you're going to be able to receive over the long run, not in the short run, over the long run. Number 2, you have investing in yourself, in your abilities. Like for me, I wanted to read a lot more, right? But also investing in other skills in other areas that maybe you want to develop, that you know you're going to need in the past. Like nowadays, you need to know anything and anything about digital marketing, how to create content, how to deal with social media. Like all that stuff are skills that you need nowadays if you want to be able to get to a certain level. So I'm working through a lot of that stuff right now, but I wish I would have done it sooner, because then I would have been in a different position now. But I'm confident, and I know that I'm going to be where I need to be in the next 5 to 10 years. So yeah, man, I wish that I would have just started earlier, but here we are. And then the last thing, and again, this is the one that requires the most patience, but is finding a way to make your money work harder for you, because you can only work X amount of hours in a day. You can only go to work for 8 hours or 10 hours or whatever the case may be. But at some point, you're going to have to get some rest. At some point, you're going to have to stop. At some point, you may get sick or something may happen to you where you cannot physically work. So how can your money work for you instead? Because money can work 24/7. So that's kind of like one of the things that I'm working through right now, is how can I find a way to make my money work all the time for me, regardless of what I have going on in my life. So there you go. 3 little things that I wish I would have done differently or more of when I was younger. All right, guys, I'm gonna leave it here. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and make sure that you give the video, a thumbs up, right? But I will see you guys in the next one. So be great, reach your full potential. I will see you on the next one. Let's get it.